Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 250. We've made it to a
Ooh,
quarter century of these
wow.
of the High Sensitivity podcast. Thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game news and movie news as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, along with my fellow Doomslayers.
My name is Craig. Excited to slay some Doom.
Name is also Craig, also waiting. I got real excited the other day because it said coming in one day, but they were wrong.
Yeah, well, that's like the premium edition. I think you can
Yeah.
play early. I think that's the cool thing.
Yep.
Us normies get it tomorrow, right?
I think it's tomorrow.
Okay.
I think it's yeah. I can't remember. So be it. You know, we do remember though. It's the news.
Mm-hmm.
Every week. And the news doesn't wait for anyone. This week, it's kind of all over the place. So I guess I'll just start really all over the place. Expedition 33 continues to make headlines with how popular it is. It is sold out physically. It is literally the best game since sliced bread.
Whoa, slow down.
Yeah, GTA 6 could
Yes.
only hope to sniff at this game, is how people talk about it.
All right. Let's cool our jets.
Calm down a little bit there.
I love the game, but let's cool our jets here.
But yeah, are you guys still playing Expedition 33? You guys having fun with it?
Don't want to spoil it, but I'm done with the in-game content or the game. Now it's just
Yeah.
late game.
No, I have not played it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Expedition 33. We'll talk about it in games played this week, but we like it, and I think it's well deserving of its stuff. We have the Marvel 1943 game. It's like World War II, Captain America versus Black Panther. That game was supposed to be released in 2025. It is now delayed till early 2026 for some more polish.
It's a lot of polish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't know what they haven't shown anything about
Nope.
the game. Like usually we see something about it, or at least more about the game at this point, but we haven't. So whether or not adding more polish is just a word to say, hey, we need to work on it more before we show anything, might be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of polish.
You guys excited for that game or no?
I'll be excited when I see it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I need to see something. I'm a visual learner.
I think the only
About
thing
my
we got
excitement.
was like a cutscene, right? Like
Yeah, it was
nothing
a very-
gameplay.
Yep, correct.
Right.
Whatever.
So it's one
Get
of
back
those
to me
things
later.
where, yeah. One thing that we did get, and I think some of us also got in our emails, is the Switch 2 is going to be in stock at limited quantities
Mhm.
at Best Buy. If you're somebody who's looking for a Switch 2 and you got your pre-order and maybe or didn't get a pre-order, apparently Best Buy is going to have some Switch games, accessories, and consoles on hand the release date.
Mhm.
Look, if I could recommend to anybody, don't do it. It's going to be a crapshoot. If I can put my words lightly, I don't know. Midnight launches aren't a thing anymore, and I think people forget how busy they are. And unless you're GameStop, which has done it for years, most retail sites, when it comes to this, are pretty unexperienced with how to do it. When I did the Switch launch for Walmart, it was a mess. Nobody knows what to do. Nobody, all these people want to do is get their console and leave as quick as they can, and if you slip up at any point, they start to throw a fit. Like, as much as I love the people who game and gamers, they are also some of the most impatient, I'm the righteous person people. And just be careful is all I'll tell you. People are going to drive like crazy to get there. People are going to be driving out of parking lots to get out of there, and it's just a crapshoot. Just me personally, so just be prepared if you're trying to get a Switch like that.
Where do you think we get the I am right complex as gamers? Is it because we continuously beat games and that just adds to the fraction of like some type of complex where we are just consistently right because we beat games? Like,
Well, and I shouldn't say it's just gamers, but it's like anything that is a commodity that can be sold at a higher price. like kind of deal there. Is a lot of these people who are trying to get these consoles just want them and they don't want to deal with anyone other than trying to get them. It's the same thing with concert tickets at this point. Like you have to, you have to wait in line for concert tickets online, and if it was like an in-person thing, it would be a mess. It would be just as worse, if not, it would be just as bad, if not worse. So, I we do know the Switch 2 will probably sell a decent amount of money everywhere, a decent amount of consoles, but just be on the lookout. Just wait for your Nintendo invitation. I still have not received mine.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't gotten one either.
Darn, none of us did. Next up, Giant Bomb, the gaming site, is going to go independent. Last week we had a lot of news about layoffs coming around. Giant Bomb has since said that Fandom, their owner, has sold the rights to Giant Bomb to themselves. So interested to see how all that goes. But now it's a fully employee owned thing instead of being owned by a company. Which, if gaming is any kind of recollection here or reference to it, I should say, is more media needs to be independent from its big like overlooking warlord for words. I don't know, if it does feel like a lot of the times creativity and stuff like that gets stunted when it's being overseen by a corporate person who
Mm-hmm.
has no idea what they're talking about. So good for Giant Bomb. Hopefully they're able to bring those people back that got laid off. But hopefully this is the start of a new beginning for them. We've seen MinMax do it, and they're quite popular.
Right.
While Game Informer is themselves, I don't count Game Informer because they also got bought by another person, but apparently everything's in house for them.
Right.
All they own is the name. So we'll see. We Mafia Old Country trailer finally got that.
Yeah.
You
looks
mean
good.
Red Dead Mafia?
Red Dead Mafia. I like it.
I do like it. It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to see. I know it's Italy and it's Mafia stuff, but when's the last time we went to Italy, guys? When's the last time video games went to Italy?
Assassin's Creed 2?
Yeah. So, my thinking is I hope we get a really. I know it's Mafia and it's supposed to be brown, dusty, not colorful. I hope when you're in the town driving around and things like that, it's hopefully a good representation of how kind of colorful and wonderful the countryside is of Italy. So I'm interested to see that part. I think the game looks really good. Coming out August 8th.
Yeah, I liked the trailer. It reminded me of. Did you guys play the Godfather game? It came out on PS2. Yep. I loved how accurate it was and how addictive that gameplay was, especially for its time. And not to compare the two at all, because this is going to be a different story. But I'm kind of loving this back to Italy thing, because if and any of my movie heads out there that liked The Godfather, the scenes in Italy were fantastic in the Godfather series, like the movie series. It's a great country and it's a awesome culture. So I'm really hoping that it gets reflected here. To your point, Barry, I really hope that it gets reflected here because there's definitely a lot you can do with it. So,
GTA 6 and Rockstar kind of came out and said, "Hey guys, the trailer is half cutscenes, half gameplay. Everything kind of looked the same, as you can kind of see, but also running on a base PS5 is what they had come out and said." So for people who are looking for if whether or not they need the Pro or PlayStation Pro, PS5 Pro, I don't think so. I am happy I have mine, and I'm pretty sure GTA is going to look just as good on that thing too. So
they didn't say how loud the PS5 was, though.
I wonder if
Craig, I love it. I love it.
About ready to take off.
Yeah,
I don't believe any of that was gameplay. I'm sorry.
It looked pretty freaking good to be gameplay.
Yeah.
It looks so good to be gameplay.
Well, there was one scene in the trailer that stuck out where and I can't remember the girl character's name anymore, but she was shooting a grenade launcher at cars and there was an explosion. That I thought was okay, that's gameplay. That looks like gameplay. But a lot of it definitely looked like cutscene for sure. But according to them, it's half.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be like one gameplay. It was probably that, and they're like, yeah, see, it's gameplay and cutscenes.
Right.
Come on now, it's Rockstar we're talking about.
PlayStation announces a new studio with Bungie people at the helm. It is going to be, unfortunately, a multiplayer open world game as far as the news, and it's LFG something. It's I think it's I can't believe I'm forgetting the studio's name. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and now I've forgotten it. So while we're talking about that, and Destiny 2 showed off more DLC. The game just does not, or it doesn't die.
It
Yeah,
doesn't. It was part of that DLC, the complete and utter Star Wars knockoff DLC. What?
Team LFG is the new studio in PlayStation that's with old Bungie people.
Okay.
But regardless, yeah, like Destiny 2 is just funny at this point.
I mean, it looked
Yeah,
it looked
I don't
like
know.
they had 4 different sub seasons of DLC content, but there was like a Star Wars portion that even had like Lucasfilms, like I think at the bottom, if I remember correctly. So I thought that was an interesting take. Now I haven't been a Destiny 2 head for years. I spent
Same.
330 hours in 1 year on it, but like that's not even enough to flaunt for that amount of time for that
Yeah,
game.
for
But
Destiny
for
players,
Destiny
that's
players,
your
that's
child play.
yeah, that's like whatever. But I did put a lot into it 1 year, and I don't know. I don't have the Destiny brain anymore to know whether I'm upset with that or not. Like, because that stuff looked like Fortnite skinned type of stuff. Essentially. So like, I don't know how Destiny players, and feel free to comment, guys, on that part. Out there listening and watching, but I don't know how a Destiny person is reacting to that launch DLC anymore. But I'm glad they're continuing to at least put stuff out. So
Yeah, but I just wish that studio would do something else at this point. Like we're getting
Destiny
Marathon,
3.
but it's well, and even then, like it's that wouldn't be a bad idea. But we're getting Marathon, which they haven't said is like it's a full-fledged game. Like it's one of those things where they're kind of, it won't be full priced. So what is it? And then on top of that, like just I'd like to see studios do something else, and I'd imagine Bungie wants to do something else, but I guess if you have the cash cow of Destiny 2 and people continue to buy your DLCs, then that's all you do.
they're like them, and every once in a while I'll see an advertisement for like whatever's coming out in the Division 2. They're like the two games where I'm like, who is still playing, more so the Division 2.
More so the Division 2,
Yeah, but
definitely.
like who's still playing Destiny 2 at this point?
And that's it for news. So I'll give it away to you guys. Who wants to start
All
their
right.
news?
First one I just thought was kind of funny, so I threw it in here. But they specifically called out PlayStation users were upset that the Doom: The Dark Ages, the disc has 85 megabytes on it. This is not new, guys. This has been happening for a while. You got to download the games. I don't know what to tell you, but like most games aren't on the disc. But I just thought it was funny that it's 85 megs. That might be the smallest I've seen.
That might be. That is pretty small. For anybody out there, because I had to learn this as a video game person, you're buying a license to play the game with
Right.
most of these games. Like that's what you're buying. That's why you see the download happen after you put it in. Like,
Yep.
because I mean, over time, I forget where I learned that, but I didn't know that originally when I was playing video games. But it makes sense when you have it explained to you. You're buying a license to play the game. Like that's what you're doing. So I don't know, but
Yeah.
but that is small. That is a very small.
Yeah, it's like all right. And then I have two smaller things about the about Nintendo, because we love Nintendo here. I just wanted to bring up the smart charging feature the Switch 2 is going to have. I don't know if you guys saw
Yeah,
that.
I
Kind
did
of
see that.
taking a page out of cell phones, really, but it charges your battery up to 90%, which is supposed to preserve your battery life long term. Kind of a smart thing that I think, again, like my cell phone does that. I have an iPhone. I don't know about you guys, but like mine
Same.
will smart charge until it knows I'm about to wake up normally for the day, and then it'll finish charging. It's a good idea, and I would imagine this would probably be pretty standard for just about every handheld. Looking at you, Xbox, whenever you come out with yours. And then the other one that I thought was kind of interesting here was Nintendo's new terms of service that literally allows them to brick your Switch.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. They listed it as unauthorized use, but it's kind of generally worded that they can kind of just do it if they want to. Not a big fan of that,
No.
but I don't jailbreak my Switches, so I don't
Right.
really have anything to worry about. But I don't know. It just kind of makes me a little nervous that it's very generally worded there.
Right.
That's it.
I have a couple of smaller ones. This one made me laugh. Atlas teased what some people thought was Persona 6. They had on their I think it was on their Twitter or on their website, it said think you dropped this, and it had like the Persona 5 colors on there in the background and such. But in actuality, it was for that game that I know we spoke about a while ago, but the one that was in beta, Persona 5, I think it's called the Phantom X.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was funny because I know how I react as a gamer and I know how much I love Persona. So if I saw that, I would think the same thing. But they did trick the public there. Um, I have some other good news. Capcom is announcing its eighth consecutive year of record results and 12th year of like positive operating profit growth. And I think it's just something to announce here because we've talked about on this podcast of games that we've liked of Capcom coming out over the years. They essentially have an ace in the hole with Monster Hunter Wild, but they have been doing great things with Resident Evil and other IPs that they have. And it's just kind of nice in the video game world to see that type of thing happening where it's like consecutive years of growth and profit coming from a developer. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, Monster Hunter Wild now feels like it came out 6 months ago because of all the games that did come out and what's been the chatter with certain games, that have come out, but it's still going to sell its copies and continue to throughout the year. So I thought that was cool. Um, and the only other thing I had was we're also doing this podcast on the day that the GameCube controller was able to be pre-ordered. And the experience, like most pre-orders, has been annoying for users. People getting locked in the waiting room and experiencing those 40-minute, hour and a half wait times. So I don't know. I just find it funny. You almost don't want to get any of these awesome limited edition accessories, despite the fact that your inner video game child is screaming out for them.
Well, and I don't know how limited they are because, like, I did get the 64 controllers at one point.
Right.
You just had to wait.
Just had to wait.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
So I
ne-
have a,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and you can get working 360 controllers, pretty cheaply as well.
Right.
The Nintendo 64 controllers were a little harder to find.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we've got molded in this consumer culture as to it's going to be gone if I don't buy it now. And I know that we exercise certain willpower with certain things, but sometimes I know, like, Craig, I think you're the strongest willpower of us out of the three of us. And I think that even you sometimes, maybe once a year, once every couple of years, get duped on one thing. Well, so it's probably not going to be here, so I should just get it now, So
Yep.
I just find it very interesting that we all kind of crowd in these rooms. And Barry, you were talking about it earlier. We crowd into these online rooms, just kind of sitting, just like waiting on our phones, rocking back and forth, like it's not changing, So it's yet another thing, but it'll be interesting to see once everything shakes out where the Switch 2 ends in terms of how many consoles sold, because I know that they're pretty much, everybody's trying to get one still. So,
Yeah, I am interested in eventually getting one of the GameCube controllers, but I'm gonna wait. Like, there's no point in waiting in that mess with all of these other people.
right.
Games this week. Then we ready to talk about the games?
Games.
The only thing I have played is Expedition 33.
I'm interested to hear your take now that you've played.
I did not play any Expedition 33. I did. I've been trying like with the limited time I have to just finish stuff off.
Yeah,
So I did finish Kazan though. Took that
nice.
out. We got that out of here. It's done. I'm ready for Doom.
I'm so
I was
happy.
tired. I was tired of looking at it.
I'm so happy for you because I have to. I'm at the dragon,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you know how close that is. Like, come on.
Pretty
Like,
close.
I should just just freaking finish it. But I'm so happy to hear
Mhm.
you say that. I finished Expedition 33, and I tried out Revenge of the Savage Planet.
Okay.
Oh,
So I
okay.
have some thoughts. I have some thoughts.
Okay.
I would say we go from oldest to newest Kazan players. Let them have it. Let the Kazan let us
Yeah.
know. The first
Okay.
Berserker.
So
Craig
yeah,
is the first
where
Berserker out of us.
where Craig is at, you have two more bosses, I think, and then you're done. Um, I know we talk about a lot of like, a game's really good and then you wait on the ending, right? Like the ending kind of makes or break a game. And boy, do they try their hardest to just absolutely screw up the ending of this game. Um, that last level is god awful.
Oh yeah.
Just absolutely terrible. And it's not because it's hard. It's just because they randomly decided in the last level that they were going to make you do platforming. I don't know
Oh my god.
why. For no reason. Like, and a lot of Souls games have that, like, perilous, like you're going to get knocked off a cliff, but this is legitimately like some only up type stuff. And I'm just like, where did this come from and why is it randomly thrown in the last level for no reason? Um so that kind of pissed me off a little bit, but overall, I would still say it's a good game. Fun to play through. I got more than enough time out of it. Probably over. I don't know. I didn't look, but probably over 60 hours in that thing. I would think.
Nice.
Um, Worth the money, 100%. I couldn't tell you the story. I don't care. I was literally skipping cutscenes near the end. I was like, I don't care. Just give me the boss. Bosses are fun, varied enough. That dragon was fun. A little bit different than your normal boss in that game. And I just like tinkering with builds in that game. It's
Yeah.
fun. Figuring out like let's combine different armor sets to get me different, boosts. Worked out pretty well for me. I'm a spear guy in that game. Um,
Same. We're spear
yeah,
buddies.
it's so much fun just to break them over and over again,
Oh yeah.
and do brutal attacks. But yeah, for somebody like you, Barry, who hasn't picked it up yet, I know you're saying you're waiting on a sale. I think it's worth full price. I would say
Okay.
so.
It is.
It can be
Six
very frustrating. Go ahead.
Yeah, 60 hours is that's a dollar an hour. If I get
Yeah,
60 hours
exactly.
out of it, that's
Yeah,
that's more than most games don't even scrape near that for
it's
me.
true.
Now
And I'm not. Go ahead.
I was gonna say let's also say that 15 to 20 of those hours are the repeating bosses. Like
Yes. Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I've seen a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I immediately jump back into New Game Plus. I have no desire to do that whatsoever. Like Liza P, I immediately went back in. This game, no, but I still enjoyed my time with it. I was just like, all right, I'm done. I don't need to touch it again.
Yeah.
I'll probably never touch it again. Maybe like 10 years later, maybe I'd try it again. But yeah, I think $60 is worth it for a first time effort from, right? This is their first game, major game.
I think so.
Yeah, well done. Round of applause for them. Is it going to end up on my top 10? I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of games coming out.
Right. I put the scalpel boss fight on my holy shit moments for the year.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you could probably guess
Yeah,
why.
it's good boss. Yeah, good
I
boss fight.
love that dude. I
Hmm.
love that dude. A
Yeah,
lot. So
yeah,
I'm glad you beat it, man.
great game. Yep, give it to me. Give me the expedition.
All right. So
Barry.
speaking of builds, I have not finished Expedition. I am at Craig. You'll I guess with you at the finishing the game. I'm at the first Axon or the Axon. So I'm making my way through the game. Uh, I've I love this game. I love the people. I love the story. The build crafting I am starting now to get into. Like Mael is my favorite
She's the
character
best. She's the best.
because I either am doing insane damage or I'm burning everyone to death. I
Yeah.
I have a build where I stack 80 burn in a turn. And it's like
Yep.
they all just melt. Of course, until an enemy I face eventually is resistant to it or not weak at the point. But that's not to say like this game is going to be in my top 5. Like this game has grabbed my attention in a way that really I haven't seen since Devil May Cry 5 or the Persona series, for example. Uh, it really I really do think it is that good. There are certain things I wish that were better. I really wish in the overworld the who is the person you jump on and ride.
SK.
Uh, SK SK like does this weird like stutter step when he hits into something
Hmm.
or when he starts up. I just when I'm in the map, I just want to go. And just because he is the fastest mode of transportation in the game. Getting off of SK just makes it very very slow in the overworld. And I understand what they're going for there. It's very Final Fantasy X-ish. Uh but it's just a matter of if he was just that little bit quicker and a bit more responsive, it would make it a lot easier to get through the overworld. Again, I kind of wish it had a map of some sort telling me where I've been
Please.
and I haven't. Like the amount of backtracking I've had to do in this game because I got to the first like Axon area and then I got the ability to tear down the blue pillars. So now so I had to take a day to go to the first level and start from scratch and break all of those blue pillars
Right.
to get the newer things that they're allowing you or the extra areas or the bosses that I've been experiencing in some of these areas. Most of the time, it just leads to Lumia, and that at this point just pisses me off. But regardless, I like the game itself is fun. The story is very intriguing. I was not expecting like the story to be as engaging as it is, and it turns out, like turn-based combat can be a lot more of a active gameplay element when you add time button presses. It's funny how we bagged on QTEs for a while. People did not like them. I didn't mind them. It was usually like a small way to be interacted in a game or in a cutscene where you feel like you're at least having some sort of input in what's going on. But this is pretty much like turn-based slash QTEs that you hit, and you get better damage or better results out of it. And overall, it's a really rewarding concept. I have to give it to them with people are building these insane characters and it's just nice to see like the build crafting between people. Like for me, my whole build is around Mael and burn damage. Burn everyone just I have that's what I have. But my roommate upstairs, he's playing in a different way where he has Shiel and she just does massive amounts of damage. Lune is kind of her tank, and then he likes Verso, who he builds up the combo meter with and gets to S rank, and then he's got his, you know, different type of gameplay elements. And
Mhm.
I have to give it to them. It's fun and it's rewarding.
No, I hear you, Barry, and like I too am a Mael main. I really don't like when she's not in my party. I actually kind of stack the burns with Lune. Those two together. I've been putting Monaco in there as well, just to spice things up. Like each character is so unique that there's 5 people. They all kind of bring a certain aspect to the story. Maybe Monaco the least bit out of the two because he arrives a little bit later. But it's the story that's engrossing. It's the people. It's Mael. It's CL. It's Lune. They all are different. They all have a specific personality type that makes this entire mission crazy. And I realized why I was reading an article about it after I beat it, and there's a heavy influence that was taken from specifically Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, and Final Fantasy X when making this game, and it made me think about reasons that I like it because I played all 3 as a kid. Final Fantasy VIII, heavy influence in terms of military organizations going against each other. And that's exactly what this is. It's an expedition that has a mission, and it's a form of conflict between certain characters throughout the story. Final Fantasy 9 has like this kind of fantasy world. When you're running on the overworld, you're like really excited to get to the next thing because you don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be Burmecia? Is it going to be the Tree of Life? Like, what is it going to be? So that's where I found that influence. And Final Fantasy X is all about a pilgrimage where they know they're going to be going. Well, spoiler alert for anybody just starting Final Fantasy X, but Yuna knows she's going to be going to her death. Other characters, but actually besides Titus or Titus, whatever, however you say it.
That's still.
Which one is it? I don't know.
Yeah, no one
Titus.
knows.
It's Titus. Titus. He. Anyway, it's a pilgrimage regarding a central character going to their death. Expedition 33, they tell you straight up, nobody's expecting to survive. Either if they do get to the Paintress or after the Paintress, they think that part of them is probably going to kill them, right? So you combine all those things, you could see how it's heavily in there. And there's other things, like, it's just what came to mind when I read that. This is going to be in my top 5 no matter what.
Mhm.
And I'm glad you're enjoying it, Barry. There's still a good amount that I can't wait for you to see because you're at Versailles right now, the place with all the faces. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I went. Yeah, I went to Mask. Yeah, Maskland first.
Oh, okay, yes. Ooh, I love that one. I love that place. But you don't have much left if main story wise. So I'm excited to see what you think. And Craig, if you do have an opportunity or when you have an opportunity to jump back into it, I'm excited for you to see it as well. And I don't know. I hate to follow the hype. Every streamer I know is playing this game or did play it, and I hate to be a part of the masses. You usually like to find like a darling and be like and die by that game. Because I mean, like last year, Dragon Age was our game of the year. I'm not saying that this will be my game of the year, but it's a heavy contender. So love it.
Yeah, and maybe it's just me. I don't. I know people really like the soundtrack and the music. I like the French inspirations of some sort, but I kind of like if I could compare it to last year's like Stellar Blade for me, which is a soundtrack I still listen to. Like
Come on.
I really wish like for the most part I just want there should be less singing in the songs. Like I really wish they had more orchestral pieces, but also a part of this game, like the reason the music kind of also irks me in a different way is the sound balancing for this game is not right. Like the music is almost always too loud and you can't hear what the person's saying. So, you have to, depending on how you listen or play the game, you need to like work with the settings to get the right ones so that you can, so that way the character moments actually stand out and the music isn't drowning out their moment. So, but just overall, very, yeah, yeah, I've gonna beat this game. I'm beating games. I'm gonna beat one. I'm gonna do it, and now I gotta find the next one
Right.
after this. It's probably gonna be Doom. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
for that.
dude, that's tomorrow.
Yep.
I agree with you on the soundtrack too. It's not a soundtrack that I would play. Persona 5 is a soundtrack you could play. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Stellar
Yeah.
Blade. I need to be in the game for the soundtrack because the soundtrack is definitely dedicated to the landscapes and the mood of the game. There are certain ones that I've downloaded already, but I can't do front to back on this one. Just like sitting in my home, like cleaning, unfortunately. And that's just me at my music taste. But there's probably people out there that are going front to back to front on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Early impressions of Revenge of the Savage Planet. I say early impressions, and I somehow dumped 10 hours into this game already. Something like that, 5 to 10. This is a fun one, guys. All right?
Yeah. So before you just get into it, a little bit of backstory.
Okay.
The Savage Planet was a Google
Stadia?
exclusive game. Yeah, Google Stadia exclusive game. So after that game, literally after that platform died, like you couldn't play this game. So this is the second iteration of this, and reviews are very good. I'll let you go into it now, but I just
love
think
that.
I'm very happy that this studio is getting to release a second one because what Google Stadia did with buying studios and then I think it was literally within 6 months, they just retired the platform. Like it's just stupid. But tell us more about the game.
I love that backstory because of what I've been playing. Because of it's great, guys. And we talk sometimes on this podcast about how like Expedition 13, or sorry, 13, 33, deep game. I need my mind in there. I have to listen to the characters. I have to understand the story. I have to build the character. Kazan spending 10 minutes trying to just mix match armor. This game is like just go out there and be somebody. It's very low bandwidth for your brain. It's like Spyro with like, I don't know, the humor of Outer Wilds, certain Fallout humor, a little bit of BioShock humorousness. And Ratchet and Clank. He runs, he shoots like Ratchet and Clank. It's like it's a combination of games that I like to play. It's like 5 planets. You get dropped down. You have a little bit of story. You get abandoned by a company that bought out, which I've read is kind of a knock to what happened, because in the game, your company that like funds your space travels gets bought out by a company. They celebrate you being a part of their new company, and then they tell you that they're essentially firing you, and you get stuck on a planet. Which, I don't know, based on the backstory you explained, Barry, kind of sounds like they maybe incorporated a little bit of what they experienced into it. But it's about exploring the planet. You scan things very similar to No Man's Sky, animals, plant life, things on the planet. That helps you find upgrades, and you could upgrade the blaster you get, the different basic fun items that you get that you use to traverse the world. A heavy fixation on eyes. A lot of the animals like either have large eyes, or when you destroy them, the eyes remain on screen for a bit. It's kind of trippy, but it's fun. It's adorable at times. The planet and the terrains are different that you go to, and it doesn't look like it's like a 30-40 hour game. It looks more like a 20-25, which I think is very refreshing, especially for people like us who are trying to do games, live lives. You know, I recommend it, and it's Game Pass. That's, that combined with my initial intrigue, maybe want to try it. I think everybody should give it a whirl, to be honest with you. It's a fun one, guys.
Perfect. So then we'll get into movies and TV shows where Last of Us isn't done yet. I will say, like, when it comes to Last of Us season 2, a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
Lately.
You ain't lying.
So once that season finishes up, we will talk about it. That's really all I've really had time to watch. What about you guys?
Death of a Unicorn and Warfare.
Ooh. Okay. I watched The Monkey Man, or The Monkey, not Monkey
The
Man,
Monkey.
not Monkey Man.
Monkey Man's good. They're both good.
Both good.
Both good.
I watched The Monkey. That's the actual
Okay.
thing I watched.
I think that's the oldest.
Yeah,
You
I'll
win.
go. Yeah, I'll go first. It's what I wanted. I got what I wanted. I liked it. I got what I wanted. All right, so
5
final
stars.
Yeah, like
5 stars. He got what he wanted, guys.
I what I wanted. Final Destination is not out yet, but if you want some crazy death, humor infused, but not, I don't think it could directly be considered a comedy. It might be labeled that way, but it's very deadpan, sarcastic comedy. But like Final Destination-esque deaths, and it's about a monkey that, when it's done playing its little tune, somebody dies. And the story became a little bit more than that. I was wondering how it was going to get fleshed out, because I did not read the short story that it was based on by Stephen King. But I was a fan of it. I think it's one of those kind of things that I would own a physical copy of. And the only thing I can't tell you is if my Stephen King goggles, like beer goggles, but like Stephen King goggles, are making me think that it's better than it is. Like it's not gonna win movie of the year or anything like that. It's not that type of movie, but I had a fun time watching it, and I would like to watch it again in October when my wife and I watch our scary movie things. Craig, I can't remember. You really liked it or liked it?
No, I did. I really liked it. I saw it twice in theaters.
Love it.
Yeah. I think it's just it has the right amount of humor for a horror movie. I
Yeah,
think that's why I like it.
it does. Yeah, definitely,
Um,
definitely a good one.
Speaking of horror comedy, Death of a Unicorn. There we go. Perfect segue. Um, it's good. It's not great, but it is extremely funny. Um, I don't. You can't expect a lot from a premise of unicorns terrorizing and killing people. But the cast is incredible together. Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, they're all great. Um, I think I expected a little bit more out of it, to be honest. Uh, like the unicorns are horrendously CGI'd. And I don't know if it's just like a smaller budget movie and they just were like, yeah, that's good enough. You know what I mean? Um, but you can get past it because it's funny. Um, Worth one watch. I didn't. I was gonna go see it in theaters when it initially came out, but then everybody was kind of like on the fence about it. So I was like, let me just wait till it's streaming. That's the smarter move. I'm glad I watched it. It's not something I would put in like an October rotation, right? It's not like a Halloween rotation movie. It's not scary. But as a horror comedy goes, you could do a lot worse. Um, Warfare, pretty good. Um, I'm a sucker for war related movies. This one is a little heavy on the propaganda, I will say, as far as like U.S. Army good, you know what I mean, like that kind.
Yeah.
But the cast is phenomenal together, and the story is very interesting. Very basic concept of them trying to hold a house, and taking casualties. Uh, yeah, another one that I would say is worth the watch. Um, it was very hyped up, and then once it came out, it kind of died off a little bit. I feel like. So again, another one that I waited to see till it was streaming. But something I think all of us would probably enjoy watching. Um, I think you can watch it and have a good time. Nothing that neither one of these is going to end up in my top 10 at the end of the year. I'm pretty sure on that. But for a solid watch at home, you could do a lot worse than these two movies. So check them out. I don't know if that makes you want to check them out or not, but that's what I'm saying. Check it out if you so feel.
I I was looking at that one. It gave me a real Black Hawk Down vibes.
Yes. Reminds me a lot of Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm definitely gonna watch that. Also, Will Poultier is that
Yeah.
his name?
He was in both movies, Death of a Unicorn and Warfare.
Yeah, I love that dude.
Phenomenal in both.
I love
Yep.
that dude.
Yep.
Mhm.
Speaking of, The Bear, season 4 coming out very soon. Next month, I believe.
Yeah. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully, I feel like I hope it does something with that weird ending
Yeah.
that I'm not the biggest fan of. So
Yep.
I know the show is so popular at this point, um, that it's kind of too big to fail at this point. But just a little bit better writing. That ending was
Yeah, it wasn't
not
great.
it.
Yeah.
That ending was not it. Everything else I really liked. The ending of which is Paramount is just was not it.
Felt like a filler season
Yeah.
for me. But I'm
And it was
excited for
supposed to
another
be like
season.
the big action season,
Right.
especially like with the start of the restaurant.
Right.
Still, there we go. That's going to be it for the podcast this week. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you feel so inclined on your podcast listening platform of choice, please make sure to leave a review, star rating, thumbs up, however you feel we did on the podcast. Leave us a couple pointers. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like. We appreciate any criticisms or feedback or compliments you give us. YouTube. If you're watching on there, please make sure to like and subscribe, comment. It helps it get out to more people as we continue to gain more subscribers and viewers. We always appreciate people commenting, and we try to answer back, as well as you probably will get your comment read on the show here, and we can respond to it while we're recording. So thank you all for listening, as you guys always have. Just make sure that and we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.